Wakey wakey, eggs and bakey. All right, good morning. This morning we are going to talk about probably my favorite thing in the bushcraft camping / survival world, and that's eating. Food is definitely my thing. So we're going to go through some different kits, setups, and then we're going to get to doing some cooking on this new baby right here. But we kind of wanted to talk about some of the items that you may always want to have in your pack, and then some of the more luxury items, and then go along with our series of tastes where there might be a few different ways that you're going to want to cook or be able to boil water, and that all kind of comes together in this little kit here. So we've got everything from giant Dutch ovens, which will be in the back of your truck and shows up on site, to small little MSA pocket rockets, right? So let's talk about what I think would be my primary. It's in my bug out bag. It's in pretty much everything I carry to go in the woods, right? And the first thing is going to be this little grill grate kit. So it's 2 grill grates in a wax cotton pouch that sits against my back and the inside of the backpack. And inside of it, this is made by a company called Recycle Firefighter, and it's a small Nomex handkerchief, which is great for picking up hot things. And it's Nomex, so it won't burn. And I let that live right inside my grill grates. Inside there, it gets tucked away. And that gets stored in my backpack. You want to save some weight, they make some titanium ones. You can find all this stuff on our favorite Amazon. Now with the grill setup, now in a permissive environment, we can light a fire and put this thing over some rocks or some sticks on each corner, and we cook on it, either whether it's meat or a pot. The second thing is the MSA pocket rocket. Takes up that much space, and it sure can boil some water and cook with any of these pots that we're using here. So very small kit that can be put in your backpack as my primary. We've got a non-permissive environment, or just straight up, I can't start a fire, right? There's areas where we can't start fires, and that's my first choice. And the second choice would be using the grill grates and having a fire. All right, secondly is going up in technology, right, is another fuel stove, right? So this is the jet boil, and uses any of the size containers. But a jet boil can boil water, it can make coffee, it can heat your MREs, or you can fill it with hot dogs and have a bowl of hot dogs. It's great for boiling hot dogs.
Sounds like a fun
It's
time.
better than in the jet boil than it is in a bag.
Or a bowl.
Or a bowl, right. So jet boil is great. With the jet boil, you can also add the top to it. Then now we can put pots on it as well. And this just clicks in here like so. It's all warped and bent. You get the idea. That sits in there, and now we can put a pot on top of it instead of the jet boil. What's nice about the jet boil, it does have this baffle that keeps the heat in and the wind from. It's got the silicone on the outside so you can pick it up and not burn your hands, right? So that's a good alternative to the MSA, right? So it's all self-contained. Your fuel cartridge can get stored inside this container, which is nice, right? thirdly, I go with this a lot of times. This is basically my little self-contained bush pot. And in this bush pot, I have my Trangia stove, 2 pairs of leather gloves, because things will get hot, right? A little top for my stove, which sits in here. So now we've got a mini stove inside the pot in which we can boil on. This is you can tell I never use it. It can be used to steam or strain.
Strainer, yeah.
Right? And then inside here, there's a little titanium cup. And inside the cup, I now have some fire making materials, a little titanium spoon, and salt and pepper.
Nice.
So in this little kit, carries quite a bit. I'm pretty fond of the Trangia. It always works. Yes, you do have to carry denatured alcohol with you, right? So once you run out of it, you run out of it. But it has a long burn time and burns pretty hot, and it doesn't make any smoke. You don't have to light any fires.
Clean burn.
It's a clean burn. Yeah, exactly. You can tell it's just, everything just fits in there really nicely.
Sweet.
And if you don't bend these things up like I have, it'll snap on correctly. There. So there's my little Trangia kit. And then we can get into bush pots and pans, right? So even my kit that contains the frying pan, right? This is the Pathfinder stainless steel folding skillet. Love it. With a couple of titanium plates that nest on top of the lids. And my spork, titanium spork, all goes inside that same wax canvas bag. So this stainless steel kit pan from Pathfinder comes with a lid, right? And then what I've done is I built a little kit inside of this.
Okay.
So now we have some redundancies, right? So I've taken a little grill grate and bent the bottoms, right? This was made for cakes, and that's stainless steel. So that nests right inside there. So I can use this as a grill grate. And then inside, I've cut down a spatula, silicone spatula that fits in there, some olive oil, and a lighter. So we have a way to make it. So this is my favorite pan because it's so well seasoned that nothing ever sticks to it. And that's going to go right on there when we cook some eggs. So I'm moving right along. Here's a bush pot, right? And this bush pot does more than boil water. Unfortunately, the delivery didn't come, but they have a little grill grate that goes into this, and also it's the same one that goes on top of the squirrel cooker over there. That we can now make this into a small oven by putting the grill grate in there, put some biscuits on it, and then this gets laid down in the charcoals, and it's a small oven. It's kind of cool. So it does a lot more than just boil water, make coffee, or heat your slop and gruel. Down the line, what's our favorite thing to do besides eat? Is make coffee. So there's plenty of ways to make coffee. We're going to have plenty of videos on different ways. We even have a class on just being an outdoor barista. So here's our old school percolator, and then we have some Baglietti mocha pots of different sizes, and then we can just go straight into the cowboy coffee by dumping coffee right into the pot and boiling it, and then letting it cool, adding a little bit of cold water to it, which will make the ground settle, and we've got coffee. So many different ways. And I just wanted to point out there's a few other things on the table, like in our water kit, water filtration kit, we have the Grail. The particular Grail that I've been using is this Grail that's made out of titanium. And so now this is now another way to boil water or cook our food in because it's titanium. Really fond of surplus. So there's a, you find them pretty much anywhere on the internet right now. eBay was a good source for this, but this is a nesting stainless steel kit, and it's got handles so we can cook with them or eat out of them as a mess kit. This is a really cool one. I believe this is a Swedish kit, and we got a little spice kit here, and now this one's kind of cool. This is something that I've made, and it's a tea container, kind of like a hobo stove.
Yeah.
Right? So it's a tea container that I poked some holes in and then dropped, bent up so it would fit on the inside is a computer fan grill. And now we can put our fuel tablet in there or put some kindling, start a fire in it, drop some wood until we get some charcoals, and then drop this grill on top. And now we have a little small mini stove. Kind of a hobo kit, right? So like an improvised kit. And that's that. So a little bit of other items that you might want to have with you is some sort of a cutting board, right? Here's a neat little trick. You go on Amazon and buy a package of these for $10, and you get 4 different colors, and then you can slice them in half so they fit in your pack. And now you have a flexible, self-healing cutting board that cleans, and it's BPA free, and you don't have to worry about anything. And it keeps your food clean and healthy. Last but least, what we're going to be talking about today is this guy. This is the EcoZoom rocket stove. And I've been playing a lot with this lately because this is definitely a car camping setup.
Sure.
Or, in your campsite, backyard, wherever. But it's a viable stove, like to really cook off of. It's heavy duty. I don't know if you've seen the ads on it. The guy's like literally standing on top of it and jumping up and down. The inside is lined with the fire brick,
Okay.
so it retains heat. And right now we have charcoal in it. Sticks, you can use regular wood, so you pack it up with kindling. And this time you're going to close the bottom one and we're going to open the top one. And we're going to pack it up with sticks. We're going to start a small fire in there, and then we can put this in front of it. And while this door is open, and now we can just feed larger diameter sticks into this. As they burn, you just keep feeding them in. And you have this continuous fuel source, which works if you're doing a lot of cooking. I suggest to go with the sticks, because then it's just a matter of forcing wood through to keep the fire burning. Whereas once the coals are out, then we have to add more, and then we have to wait for the coals to come up to an equal temperature. Which brings me to a good point. When we're cooking out, most people that have issues cooking out over a campfire, it's because they're cooking either over an open flame and burning everything, and not over coals. So we get more control when we have coals. So build a fire, bring some coals over, cook over that, rather than to cook right over the fire. And that's why you see people who have burnt bacon. Shout out to Cold Cracker Bushcraft about the burnt bacon episode. So I'm digging this thing. It's It's light enough. I mean, obviously you're not going to be packing it into the woods, but it's, you know, get it out of your car and walk it into camp, and now you have like a real stove, and it's pretty self-contained. You're not worried about fires, and you can see that right now this thing is really hot. We loaded it up earlier with the coals and let them get cooking for the video, but we can really cook some stuff. So let's do that now. Let's make some breakfast.
Let's do it. I'm hungry.
All right. One of the things that we should really talk about is to be successful, especially when you're camp cooking, is a culinary term in the chef world called mise en place, which means to have everything in place. So before we start to cook, Chris and I are setting up, we're gonna do bacon and eggs and sliced tomato, and we're gonna set up some trays and have paper towels in here for the bacon so it can drain off, and then we've got covers for them. So that's all set to go, and then we're thinking about it, the order of cooking, which is gonna be, we're gonna cook the bacon first so we could use all that incredible bacon fat for the rest of this meal. So that's what we're gonna do here. Chris is gonna get that started, and I'm gonna start cooking on the bacon. All right, we got our little trash bag here. You can see how really stable this is. It's like a good top. It'll even hold that Dutch oven. Definitely have yourself a pair of leather gloves, because that handle may get hot in case you need to move the pan in a hurry. Other things that you might want to have with you, which can last, is some ghee, right? So clarified butter. It's great for you folks that are on the bandwagon of keto. And I'll start, even though we have plenty of fat in our bacon, I'll just start it off that way. The other thing that's ghee is great for ghee is great for is that it's shelf stable. So this can just sit in your bag in a small container and use it as you need it. All right, so seems like we got a hot top here. I'm gonna lay our bacon in it. Hey Chris, you wanna grab me a paper towel, brother?
Yes, sir.
You can see that temperature is perfect. I love my little crooked awl. So these are two Pathfinder Self-Reliance Outfitters crooked awls that we lashed up with some bank line on a stick. Makes a great camp fork.
Wakey, wakey.
Eggs and bakey. We're gonna do some cheesy scrambled eggs, fried in some ghee. Make some Americanos.
Very nice.
No. Well, now that we're done cooking, it's time to eat. Thanks for joining us today. Appreciate you guys taking a look at our YouTube channel. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and check us out on Instagram and Facebook. And we're here every Sunday at John Chestnut Park in Tarpon Springs, Florida, 9 a.m. to 11, where we do a little give back to the community and do some bushcraft classes. So we're going to dig in, and thanks again.